Hello, my name is Leslie Amerson, and today I'm going to be doing my session 4 demonstration video. Down here in the South, we live in North Florida, which is considered the South. We are very passionate about eating. It's probably one of our favorite pastimes. We use it for any excuse, graduation, anything. We're always cooking a big meal. But nothing goes with a big meal, not as much as a good dessert. A lot of desserts in the South can be pretty complicated, and some are really easy. The one I've decided to make today is a very simple dessert. It only has 4 ingredients, and it's great for hot weather, so it'd be perfect going forward into the summer. The dessert I'm going to be making is called Chocolate Delight. It goes by several different names. Some call it, Sandwich Cookie Delight. Others call it, like Ice Cream Delight, other things like that. The ingredients that are in this particular one is instant pudding mix, whole milk, sandwich cookies, and Cool Whip. So this dessert is kind of built like a lasagna. It's built in layers, and then the final layer is the Cool Whip on top. So my very first layer is going to be chocolate pudding. I'm going to put enough pudding to cover the whole bottom of this pan. This pan will feed about 50 people, and as I mentioned earlier, we are making this for our family supper for Wednesday night for our church. So this will be plenty, and it will be empty by the time the evening is over. So I begin by taking 4 to 5 big scoops of the pudding out of this bowl that I have already made. It's good to make the pudding ahead of time so that way you're not having to stop. So I'm going to spread the pudding out on the bottom of the pan. Just kind of make it like a base layer, because you want this to be where the cookies are going to land so it'll stick and have a lot of good texture in it. So after I spread that out, I'm going to take some of my cookies. So I have taken 5 packs of the sandwich cookies and crushed them up. You want to kind of crush them up as much as you can, so that way it gives a lot of pieces throughout the dessert, because it's better to have the little pieces than big cookies. I have seen a lot of people put just whole cookies in there, and that's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. It kind of makes it a little bit better for portioning, but I like to crush them. It seems to go a little further. Now, after I spread the layer of cookies, I'm going to put in my next layer of chocolate pudding. I put about 4 or 5 more scoops again, just covering up the cookies as much as I can. And like I said, this bowl feeds about 50 people, so it'll fill this pan. There are 3, 6, 9, 12. There are 12 boxes made for a 50 servings. Now you can definitely cut this down to fit your family. You don't have to make it for 50 people. But if for some reason you do want to make a lot, this dessert holds very well in the refrigerator. And it can also be frozen and served like ice cream if you would like. You can also make big batches of it and then divvy it out into individual servings. It's great for kids. All right, I'm going to spread this layer out. Now that I have that layer spread, I'm going to go in with my second layer of cookies. I have 5 packages of cookies for this particular pan. I may not use all of the cookies for this pan, and that's okay. If you have some left over, it's great to put them on top as a decoration. All right, I have that layer, and now I'm going to put on my final layer of pudding. Anything that you have left over, you can definitely store. I know that here at our church, if we have any pudding or cookies or anything left over, we like to save them for the next family supper. It lets the church save on cost, but also gives people an idea of what they can make too. Because a lot of times when you volunteer for family supper, you don't really have a clear idea until you get there that day. Alrighty, I'm gonna pick up and scrape the rest of this out of this bowl. All right, this is my final layer of chocolate pudding. I will smooth this out and cover as much of the cookies as I can. I'm probably not going to add another layer of cookies just because it seems that this pan is doing very well with just 2 layers of cookies. So what I'll do is I'll save these cookies for my next pan. All right, my final step is to put Cool Whip on the top. You're going to take the Cool Whip out and kind of put it out in blobs. The Cool Whip may still be a little bit frozen, and that's okay. All you're wanting to do is just smooth it out enough to where when you put it in the refrigerator, it'll thaw and make the pudding become one even layer, or the Cool Whip become one even layer. This top layer doesn't have to be completely perfect. It can, you know, be a little all over the place, because what we're gonna do is after I put this on here, we're gonna sit it in the fridge overnight to let all the flavors kind of marry together. Once I pull it out tomorrow, that's when I'm really gonna let it, you know, become one even layer. I'm gonna try to smooth this out as much as I can. Even though the Cool Whip is not completely thawed, it will actually thaw out pretty good in the refrigerator, and as it does thaw, I'll be able to smooth it out a little bit more. You want to try to do as best as you can for one layer, and then what we're gonna do is, after this is smoothed out, tomorrow I'm gonna sprinkle chocolate chip cookies, or not chocolate chip cookies, my mistake, chocolate cookies on top of it, and it will be ready to serve. I hope that this dessert is a fun dessert for you to try this summer. Thank you for watching my video.